Good morning. So I was wrong. The bamboo, I just weighed it just under 40 pounds. So I'm off. But it was like carrying a bar, an awkwardly shaped, morphed bar, a mile and a half. Well, on that note of doing things that are challenging, I wake up this morning and I have the epiphany, which is where most of these videos come from, either in my solitude or as soon as I wake up. There's so much clarity around a specific topic, and I was reminded of a story of a person I worked with over 20 years ago. He had 3 injuries and some other things in life going on, and we were addressing all of them in one-on-one sessions, which at that point you would show up and come to me and we'd work together one-on-one. And he got through maybe 9 sessions, and then he came to me for the next scheduled appointment, and he just flat out was honest, and he goes, "Look, Tommy, I love this approach. I understand it. It makes total sense. It's actually working in the small amount of time that we've condensed and done some work here. But I was thinking about it and I was going into it, and the amount of work it's going to require for me to then live life at a level that I'm quickly approaching through this understanding of injuries and healing myself, I don't think I want to do it." And I was like, oh my God, okay. First of all, that's huge that you're honest with me. That's fantastic. And I made a point to him where I said, but understand this, choosing to not work this hard and continue back to the life you were leading prior to you and our meeting and you and I working together is going to actually require more work. And let me break this down. To manage symptoms, it costs so much energy. It costs so much of your day-to-day. All you're thinking about is all these different ways of making sure your body doesn't fall apart. So there's that exhaustion rate. There's the psychology that you don't trust your body. And then that moving forward and bleeding into other symptoms and other injuries, because life is loaded with opportunities for the body to give you symptoms all the time and injuries all the time. That's the point of it. That's like the design. So there's going to be that lack of trust with yourself in anything moving forward. There's also going to be, if you work with other people, the cross contamination of stories that people are going to treat you with, whether you're being medicated or you're injected with corticosteroids or you're doing it herbally or you're doing plant medicine or you're getting body work or massage. Everyone's got this different thing. You don't really understand which one. You feel better, you don't. You feel better, you don't. That's going to cost a lot. That's going to require you a lot of struggle and a lot of work. And then just the effort of you living with these symptoms perpetuating, because your body's never going to stop trying to get your attention, nor is it ever going to stop hoping that at some point you start realizing there's another way. And so even just going to the grocery store or taking a walk or getting up in the morning and running through your routine is going to cost more energy. It's going to be exhaustive, and you're going to be so taxed. You're actually going to work more to maintain what you came in with, which is really not maintain anything. You don't maintain anything ever. You're just changing all the time. But to stick with that previous approach to how you were doing is actually going to cost more work and more effort and more honesty and more responsibility and more accountability than where we're headed. So either way, you're going to be very uncomfortable. Either way, you're going to have symptoms. Either way, you're going to get injured. Either way, you are going to be strong. It requires a human body that doesn't have all its organs, that is symptomatic with healing responses all over the place, that is relying on so many different people to keep them alive and keep them here, and is outsourcing all these different levels of responsibility to all these other people. That is a strong fucking person that they're just not, they're not willing to leave. Like, I don't think we realize how strong somebody has to be and how much they have to deal with on a day-to-day just to process and habituate to all of that. We're designed for that choice too. And so here's what we don't understand is we think there are people that are on the fence between starting with me or going, where it's just a rolled ankle, or it's just my hormones, or it's just autoimmune, or it's just Parkinson's, or it's just whatever the label is. And they're hesitant because they're like, God, I don't want to get into all this. I don't know if I want to go in and start doing the work, because it's going to be so exhausting, and I'm gonna have to sacrifice things, and it's gonna be failure based, and I'm gonna feel more, and it's gonna be pushing limits, and it's gonna be honesty, and it's gonna be slow times and gentle times and soft times and playful times, and so much honesty and openness. I don't really know if I'm ready to do that work. But scarily enough, what you don't understand is you're doing more work not going in that direction that you are blindly trying to head to, because all you'll know is your next step. You don't know where you're headed. You don't know what your body, you don't know the meaning behind it. It doesn't always come immediately, and you can't see the path. So either way, you're working your ass off. Either way, you're gonna be very uncomfortable. Either way, you're going to face massive honesty. Either way, you're going to have symptoms. Either way, you're going to be injured. Either way, you're going to be fast. Either way, you're going to be slow. Either way, you're going to be tired. Either way, you're going to be energetic. Either way, you're going to have nightmares. Either way, you're going to have dreams. Either way, you're going to be erect. Either way, you're going to be flaccid. Either way, you're going to be turned on. Either way, you're going to be frustrated. Either way, you're going to be supported. Either way, you're going to be alone. Either way. Might as well go. Now, the gentleman was just like, holy shit, thank you so much. We'll be in touch. And that was it. And I think we ended up playing golf, like ended up later. Like, it was just so chill and awesome. And he would keep peppering me with stuff every now and then. Just wasn't ready to go all in with the guidance that I was willing to provide. And that's totally cool too. But either way, that was this morning's epiphany, was that story. And then that realization where it's like, we work our asses off either way. Why not go in the direction of growth and wisdom and ability and honesty and trust with ourselves, and stripping away all, why not just go there when it's going to cost more to stay in this other direction? I mean, shit. Question answered, problem solved, I'm ready, let's go. And I'm faced with that every single day. I choose the difficulty of growth and wisdom and ability and honesty and truth, rather than the difficulty of hiding and mitigating and managing and controlling flare-ups and trying to live this perfectly healthy life so my body doesn't fight me, and being terrified of my body, and being loaded on supplements, herbs and tinctures and drugs and medications, and having all these practitioners calling it holistic, and being terrified of myself, and being ashamed, and going to bed with this mind and going to bed with this mind, and living with this heart and living with this heart. I'm just gonna go this route. That's why I pick up bamboo, part of it. That's why I challenge myself with 40 pounds of bamboo. That's why I live the way I live. That's why I guide the way I guide. That's why I instruct and share and teach the way I teach. Totally your option, your choice. And that's what is fantastic, is we can choose anything, and the body will always get our backs. Always. If it's hard either way, if it's a struggle either way, I just choose growth and wisdom, ability, increase, no decline as we age, more of the experience, even if it's just 30 seconds.